We're here today with Dominique Gerardi,
Yeah.
the owner of a 65-metre yacht. Now, the yacht's super fascinating. We'll be talking about that in a moment, but you're pretty fascinating too, Dominique, if you don't mind me saying so. Can you start by telling me a little bit about the story that took you from your place of birth in Madagascar to being a yacht owner?
Okay, so I'm born in Madagascar. My dad was in the army, French army. So we used to travel a lot when I was a kid, probably what helped me to develop this traveling mind. I grew up in Tahiti, mainly, Tahiti, a bit of Germany. And then I did a merchant marine study because I wanted to travel a lot. At this time there was a French series called Joe Gaillard, and the guy was in the merchant navy and he was discovering all these South American countries, and I think, wow, that's the way to discover the world. Anyway, merchant marine was totally different. So
Did you have a boat when you were a kid?
yeah, a small boat, very small boat.
Yeah.
And then after merchant marine, I went to French polar expedition in Antarctica because I liked the people who did this kind of study, because we're supposed to do a bit of everything. So I stayed there. That was nice. It was very interesting. And after that, I went. I was a kind of globetrotter everywhere, mainly in Africa, South Africa. And
what were you doing to pay your way as you were trotting the globe?
I was working for myself. I was working. I remember in South Africa, for example, I met a Chinese. It was one of the first Chinese coming in South Africa because it was still closed at this time, and he was importing like a T-shirt, but container of T-shirt. And
When was this? How many years ago was this?
That was in '92, and then I basically I became his salesman. So
Yeah.
I did quite well because I mean. Goods from China at this stage was like for free,
Yeah.
and there was no competition. So I put some Mickey Mouse on it, and I was selling that to all the franchise store.
Were you putting Mickey Mouse
Yeah,
on
I
a
put
t-shirt?
Mickey Mouse, yeah, to sell it.
And sold them to people in Africa?
Yeah, and they love it. They love Walt Disney, but you know, when you couldn't afford to pay with a patent, so I was going to the flea market, and I made a killing with it. So anyway, after a while, I stayed like 8 years altogether. And then I came back in Europe, and I didn't know what to do. And I had my ticket from merchant marine. My brother told me, "Wow, Dominique, you should try the yacht because it's like booming at the moment. All these guys find good job on yachts." So I gave it a go.
So this would be 90...
That was in '97.
Okay.
97, and I start on a very small boat managed by a company called Sun. And as soon as I got the job, I said, okay, I'm going to try, because I didn't have a lot of experience with yachts. So I used one evening, I said, okay, I'm going to try. I want to drive the boat. So I went out of Antibes with the boat, and I thought it was magic. I said, wow, I get paid to play with that. I love it.
Do you remember what size boat it
80
was?
foot.
An 80 foot.
And I was so passionate about my job that the client were very, very happy, and Camper got good comment from that, and then they put me on a bigger boat, a better boat, and then I stayed for a while. I stayed till 2011, 2012, and this is where I left because I had another project. I become friend with one of our guests, and basically the friend agreed to finance me my project, which was to build a yacht in Indonesia.
So this is where we transition from how you got to this point, and
Yeah.
you decided to build a yacht not in Germany, not in Italy, not in Turkey,
No.
in Indonesia.
Yeah, well, I was impressed. I went to Indonesia. I was very impressed by the boat. I was very impressed by the scenery I saw and the people. And I would think, wow, if I could, first I wanted to charter the boat myself. And then I said, well, wait a minute, I can do better. I can do it myself. I can build a boat like that, will be better than that, and I can bring customer there. So I didn't want to build a boat in Germany or whatever. First of all, I didn't have the budget, and I have zero budget. And I wanted to do something traditional, but I wanted to bring my expertise And my experience, not my expertise, because I didn't have expertise in building, but my experience, I knew what I want, I knew what standard I want for the boat, for the crew, for all this industry. I knew what they were looking for. So I thought I can try to build something which doesn't exist, and if it exists, it will really be something different. Because there is one law in Indonesia which prohibits all the white yachts to go there. Because in Indonesia you need to have Indonesian flag to be able to do charter activity. None of the white boats want to have Indonesian flag because it means the boat is owned by Indonesian company. So the competition is stopped there.
To be clear for people watching the video, when you talk about a white boat, we're talking about a Benetti.
Like the normal yacht. The normal yacht.
A normal traditional motor
normal
yacht.
traditional motor yacht. Yeah. So I saw an opportunity there. Like protected market, beautiful area, very nice people, and wooden boat. Like with a knowledge, still a knowledge in wooden construction that we don't have anymore in Europe. I mean, in Europe we're very fantastic woodworker, but if you ask today a company to build a 65-meter wooden yacht, it will be a bit problematic.
Yeah.
Okay, I think they did the Cutis Arc in 6 months. They don't do it now anymore.
So do you decide on this project to start small, like maybe a little 20-foot rowing boat?
No. I didn't decide to start with 25. I decided to start with a 45 meter, something like that. Okay, but the financer, my friend, when I mentioned him that, he told me, you know what, Dominique, in this industry, the bigger the bit, better. So I said, okay, so let's go for 55. So I wanted to build a 55 boat.
Meter.
Yeah. But now there is the problem I didn't know at this time, that the Indonesian reference and the Western reference is different. In the West, we have one keel.
Yes.
And we take the height of the boat is between the keel and the main deck.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what determines your height, and then from there you can do the beam and the land. In Indonesia, they have two keel, but I didn't know that. They have the outside keel and their inside keel. We call it the dragon. It's like to stiffen the boat. Okay. So the master builder, when I'm talking with him and I give him the height, he think about the inner keel, the dragon. I'm thinking about the main keel. So we do the dimension. I remember when because we just drinking tea, what we negotiate, and he told me, whoa, this boat's going to be like a cathedral. It's going to be very high. And I said, no, I don't think so. It's going to look good because we don't have the same reference. Anyway, 6 months behind the line, I received a phone call. I say, and the guy told me, Dominique, we need to buy more wood. I say, why? Because your boat's going to be 8 meters bigger. I say, why? And then finally we find the explanation is because we didn't have the same reference. So that's why we end up having a huge boat, 65 meters.
And who designed the yacht? Did you get a famous designer to do it?
I start, first of all, I find the model on a photo. It was a traditional pinnace, a pinnace from 1901, so very traditional, with big sail, big mast, like pinnace which before the engine arrived. Okay, so it was a very nice shape. Then I make it a bit like more sexy. Okay.
So you're doing this yourself with a piece of paper? And
yeah. And then I work with my friend Marcelo Pena, a naval architect, and he put that in a 3D, and we to see a better, to have a better visual. And then we refine the line, we agree, so we start like that.
So the actual hull shape was done by a naval architect, but the design features were yourself, basically.
Yeah. And then we start the build. So when we start the build, we receive all the frame to help them, because I know they don't build like that normally, and I want to make sure we have the same shape than Marcelo design. And I can see they put the frame, but they don't use the frame at all. In fact, 15 days later, they kick the frame out because it's bothered them. They cannot work with the frame.
When you talk about the frame, like the ribs, wooden ribs for the shape of the hull.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, the wooden ribs, exactly. So what they do in Indonesia, they put the keel, they put the planks or the skin, and then they build the frame, which is totally unique. I think this is the only place in the world where they do like that. They do like that because they don't steam the wood. they will bend the wood with wedges.
Oh.
And they have a limit. They have a limit with the bending. They will never use steam to go over that limit. So in a way, it's good because you keep exactly the same physical property for the wood. That's why they are both, if they are well maintained, they can last forever.
What sort of wood is this?
Ironwood.
It's
very
ironwood.
strong wood. Very, like the wood itself is will sink. You know, it's a very heavy.
And that grows locally to the area?
Yeah. In Sulawesi, Borneo.
In fact, just tell me for a moment exactly where this shipyard is that's doing this work.
We call it a building site because it's not, they're not really tools. There is not even electricity. That's in Bira in Sulawesi. South Sulawesi, southwest Sulawesi, you have a big town called Makassar, and you take the taxi 6 hours away on the east.
Take a 6 hour taxi.
6 hour taxi, yeah. And you arrive in a little place called Bira. And Bira is as much as Sulawesi is dirty and messy and whatever you want. When you arrive in Bira, it's a little jewel. It's beautiful. You have the palm tree, white sand beach, small village, and they built the boat there. So it's very impressive. You arrive in this like virgin forest on the beach, and you see this massive boat, you know, wooden boat, only wood in the forest. So it's very, very attractive. And you see the guy, they all work there. You know, they do 3, 4, 5 boats at a time.
So they lay the keel.
Yeah.
They're cutting down local trees.
Yeah.
They lay the keel. They start to build from the keel up, from what you said.
Yeah, exactly. And then they reinforce with a frame.
And a 65 metre built in this village will employ how many people and for how long, do you think?
So for the hull, there was for how long? The boat is built in 9 months. All the boats. You can have small boat, big boat, middle boat. 9 months.
Always 9 months.
And they will take the workforce necessary to build this boat in 9 months.
Right.
Because the boat is a baby of the master builder. So they want the boat to hit the water in 9 months. It worked like that. So they will make a big ceremony to start, the keel laying ceremony. The whole village come. And then when they launch the boat, they do the launching ceremony 9 months later. The whole, for LAMIMA, the whole area came, not only the village. It was huge. And you have a lot of ritual, you know, for the good luck, because the religion there is Muslim, but it's also animist, so they have a lot of different belief. Okay,
Yep.
Very interesting, like to bring the wealth on the boat, to move away the bad spirit, to bring the good luck, everything. They cover all the... So I was there with a RINA surveyor when we did that. So I say, you see, look, you can give me the certificate now because we already covered everything.
So, well, that's an interesting point then. So they're building the way it sounds almost like local craftsmen making it up. But if you actually had somebody from RINA come to certify certify the hull, certify the build.
Yeah, even the wood from the start, because it was for him. It was the first time he was certifying a wooden boat, so he didn't know how to start. So I told me, well, I'm going to start with the wood. So he took some sample. I don't know what he did, but he did some survey with the wood. But then, he followed every time, till when we were in Bangkok, he was coming again every 3 months.
And after 9 months, the hull hit the water.
Yeah.
To actually complete everything else, how long did that take?
The whole boat, the entire
whole boat.
3 years. So I spent 2 years in Bangkok.
Wow.
Yeah. 9 months in Indonesia. 3 months because in the beginning I was thinking to build in Indonesia, in Surabaya, but then I gave up because it was too dodgy. Yeah. So I towed the boat to Bangkok. You towed it to Bangkok? Yeah, with a tugboat. We went from Sulawesi to Surabaya, then Surabaya to Batam, then Batam to Bangkok. It was a long trip.
Now, I can't help thinking that this ironwood must be pretty heavy.
Very heavy.
From what you've said. How do they get the boat to the water? Because they're building it on the beach.
Yeah. It's built on the beach.
What do they do? Put like wooden logs underneath so they can roll it? How does that work?
So they have a very specific technique. So when they build the boat, first of all, they build the boat with what they call chicken legs, but in fact it's like a sledge. So they have two ski, like the hull is like that, and they have the two ski there. And before to launch LAMIMA, they gather 18,000 sand bag 18,000 plastic bag of sand, 50 kilo each.
18,000?
18,000. And they built like a road which was like 400 meters to reach the right depth.
Yeah.
Okay. So the floor is very, very slowly inclined, okay, to avoid that the boat go. I think they would like a bit more, but that's what they had. So we, for the launching, we did the launching ceremony. We have a lot of things. It was very impressive. And then they start to move. So to move it, it took them 2 months. It took 50 guys non-stop during 2 months pulling on a chain block. So
these are big guys, I guess.
yeah, they're strong. Yeah. They're strong. They're not big, but they're very strong. And the way they operate, they will put a beam of ironwood in front of the boat, maybe like 40 meters in front of the bow. They have this cable coming toward the stern of the boat. They have 2 chain blocks, one each side, and they use with a chain block which go behind the stern, that will move the boat forward slowly by centimeter by centimeter. And also they were under pressure because they had 2 months to do it, but the monsoon was coming in 2 months. So they were protected by the cap. Okay, there was a peninsula. Yeah. They were protected, but if they didn't manage to pull the boat to a certain point, the wind will have come from the other side. No protection, so you don't want to have a setup like that with a heavy sea. So that's why they were a bit under pressure. But basically 2 months away from the launching, they reached the right point. It was a time of the full moon, and they cut open all the plastic bag underneath to remove the sand, and then with a high tide, boom, they managed to get out.
Oh, that's what the sandbags were for.
Yeah.
So they could cut them open
to slide because it slides more easy than the sand, and also to remove to float more easily.
Amazing, absolutely amazing.
And this one was 350 tons when it was empty. You know, LAMIMA empty was 300. So they managed to pull 350 tons, 400 meters with no electricity, just by hand. You know?
Over 2 months.
Yeah, over 2 months.
So I would imagine we could talk for hours about the construction, and as we said earlier, it's a shame that we couldn't have filmed the whole construction. Yeah. But let's fast forward now to LAMIMA as a finished yacht in the water. You really built her to offer as a charter yacht so that other people could enjoy the experience. How's that going?
What do you mean today?
Yeah,
today is great. Today LAMIMA is the biggest name in Indonesia regarding the yacht. We get fantastic comment from Indonesian people, like they're so proud that's an Indonesian boat, Indonesian crew, because I don't have any foreigner in my crew, and they realize the service is even better than the boat they use in the Med. So yeah, it's going very well. The international client, which are most of our clients, they love it so much because we offer something totally different. We offer an experience. You know, as much as I love my boat, the best moment, the best memory of all our guests will be with our crew.
Yes.
You know, our crew is a family. Our crew has been there from the start. We form a very, very strong group. They love the boat. They're proud of the boat. They well look after, and it's a recipe which works. And I hope other boats will do the same.
And what somebody who's watching the video who wants to come and see LAMIMA, stay on board, what can they expect from the cruising grounds? What kind of food is in that area? What activities can they do on LAMIMA?
Cruising ground is beautiful. Cruising ground is beautiful the whole year round because Indonesia is laying around the equator, so you know you can avoid the monsoon very easily. Yes. Diving is absolutely fantastic. I think this diving is probably the best in the world. You know, you might have a good similar than Red Sea or a few Pacific. French Polynesia is also very good, but this part of this level is very, very high level. Like you dive in an aquarium, you don't even need to dive, you can just snorkel and you will see so many things. You are in the wilderness, especially in Raja Ampat. When we go to Papua, it's massive area, for years from now it will still be virgin because it's so big and it's still difficult to access. There is no road, nothing like that. So it's going to be preserved. So that's very good news. This is one of the only places where you have still no bleaching for the coral.
Oh,
So, yeah. So it's it's beautiful. You know, it's beautiful. These are the main attraction, like the scenery, which is very unique, and the diving. Then what experience they can have on board? I mean, as I mentioned already, we have a beautiful crew. A crew makes you feel like you want to stay. You feel comfortable from the first step on board. You feel comfortable.
Yeah.
You feel adopted. You feel you have friends with you. You know, and kids even like my crew is very, very good with kids. We told the people, don't bring your nanny. I mean, it's going to be a waste. You know.
Yeah.
So the food is excellent. Okay, and it will be a mix of different food. We do traditional Indonesian food, but also Asian, international food. We do our bread. We do some cheese now. We do ice cream. We do a lot of things. We have all the fruit, because you can imagine all the fruit you have there.
Yeah.
We have a barista on board, so we do like the cappuccino, latte art, whatever you want. We have a lot of activity.
Yeah. Spa services.
Spa services. We have 2 masseurs full time, so it's mean that, and nothing is limited except alcohol. we have to limit alcohol, but except then that nothing is limited. You want 3 massages a day, you can have. You know, they're very good. They're both from Bali, so Balinese masseurs are fantastic. One of them is also a yoga instructor. So the morning they do for sunrise, they do yoga, and we have a massive upper deck. We have 2 dive instructors, fantastic, Ali and Wawan. I mean, Gail know them very well. They're amazing. You know, they're passionate, so it means they will make sure you see everything interesting. They will take time that you get the best of your dive. And then we have all the water sports you want. You know, we have wakeboard, we have water ski, we have all the donuts. We have 2 new toys now. It's electric surf, jet surf, and we have windsurf, we have jet ski, we have canoe, we have kayak, we have, I don't know, we have a lot.
Sounds absolutely incredible.
We have the whole thing.
I think what's particularly inspirational is that you had a dream on what you wanted, and you focused on it.
I did it the way I would like. I did it the way I would like it is to me. Like what I offer is what I would like the people offer to me if I charter a yacht. You know, and I think we did manage.
That's great. And we're going to put an email address on the end of this video where people can contact for more information as well.
Very
Thank
good.
you so much, Dominique. That's an amazing story.
Thanks.
Thanks.